Hey. All right. I would like to continue our studies. So I am taking an opportunity right now to break down a few minutes of your time to take advantage of a quote. So what I've decided to do is, so I've been debating, how do I teach? What do I teach you? There's so much to learn, and I can take the hardest concepts in the world and make them easy as pie. Like easy peasy, right? But it takes a while to comprehend what I'm saying, because until you understand being the all in all at once, I sound sort of in reverse, or I may sound esoteric, or I might sound like Fantasyland, any of these things. Okay, I completely understand. So that's why I want to take this moment to take advantage of the Gospel of Thomas. Okay, and in this moment, I would like to take this Gospel of Thomas and describe something to you, a gift that was imparted, that if you start applying it, you can see how to use the Bible, or how to understand yourself, or what you're seeing, and you're never confused by the image that is created. And this is the key word, because this is the secret to the universe, okay? The key word being by the image that is created by being in the middle or the center of your body of perceptual experience. All right? So I want to take this moment. I'm going to describe this quote, but first I would like to take this moment to kind of, again, describe the design. All right? See if I can show you what God looks like outside of you, what you can't see with these eyes, and then you understand that this is the exact image that you were made in. Now, with the all in all, you have the power to control your universe. And this may sound, a little crazy, but it is not at all. It is the universal truth, the truth of all. In other words, what I am actually teaching you is what God actually meant in the Bible, the Gospel of Thomas, Hindu Vedic scriptures. It doesn't matter. It's all the same message. And so that's what we're trying to understand. What exactly are we trying to convey to ourselves? Okay? So let's talk about the God design again. All right? What it looks like above you, outside of you, or in this invisible realm. Okay? This is the inner workings that control the outer illusion. Okay? And so it's really important, because it's going to look like the opposite of what you know. All right? All right. So then again, what has occurred, or the design, is a partnership with the all in all. You can never, ever be divided, except in your imagination. Okay? So here is your field of perception. All right? And now, this field of perception, or your body of knowledge that is created above, okay, is the shield from which you perceive everything. Okay? So now what I'm talking about here is, if you are not plugged into your heart, you are only able to live within your field of current expertise, whatever has occurred to you in the past. All right? This is a very limited, tiny aspect of what you're seeing. Okay? Now, this tiny little aspect of what you are seeing is your physical vessel. All right? This is the shadow of what is formed from the light that is coming from within you, or from within your head, or from what looks like outer space but isn't. Okay? All right. So there you are in the middle of your experience. And here's the problem. Here's where we became disconnected from ourselves. Okay? You all have been unplugged, okay? Because we spend so much time in what Hindus have called Maya, or illusion, or within the illusion of our self-conception, all right? That we don't recognize ourselves when we see ourselves. It just doesn't, right? But what is universally true is that the universal conception of yourself is what you're not understanding. Here's what we're judging. Here's what's occurring outside of us. The all in all. Your unconscious, unformed moment exists outside of you. So how does this apply in relationship? Like, how do you make the illusion of a relationship? Well, see, that is determined by the quality of your understanding of yourself, the love you have for yourself. And see, and now here's the problem with that. Yourself doesn't end with this body. Okay? I know you think that's where it ends because that's what the illusion is supposed to portray, but that is not the whole picture. The whole picture is appearing outside of you as unformed potential. This is the chaos. Okay? And we animate these states, and these are universal experiences. And the chaos ebbs and flows depending on how we're judging. Okay? So in this particular case, in the God design, here you are in eternal circle time. Your light is in the middle. It is the only constant. Okay? And now what you call positive and negative in your 3D world is the absence or perceived absence or the entirety of the desired state you wish to embody. So then the shadow that is cast is formed by your body of experience. Okay? And the reason this is so key or so critical or what have you is until you plug in, this is like a plug. Okay? It's not plugged in at all. It's like your head's just floating in space, in outer space, and has no idea, no plug. Okay? Until you plug purposely your mind and your heart and you use heart-centered intelligence, you can't see yourself in your entirety. Okay? You must use higher intelligence of things that you do not know exist. Right? And so that is your problem. If you're not plugged into your heart, how do you know what else is in the field of perception of all in all? Okay? Now I'm going to go back even further. I'm going to take this God is the giver and the gift moment, to describe this. All right? So what I'm trying to tell you is the only reason you don't have what you want is because you believe you are not that. From the moment you realize, oh yeah, I am that, you become that. And so as long as you don't know what you are, it will appear outside of you. Okay? But the minute you plug that heart back in, you can see yourself everywhere at once, you understand the design, and you're able to pull from this. Okay? So it's like a vortex that just got turned on, and everything just comes at you. Okay? And so this is going to take time. This is a muscle. But if anyone ever tells you that not being plugged into your heart, like if they can, you can always tell when someone, let me correct that. You can always tell when someone is not plugged into their heart by the way that they're judging their moment and not understanding that they are the intelligence behind what they are animating. In other words, they must be the formless witness that animates what they're seeing below. Okay? And so then the joy comes from understanding you are both dead and alive at the same time. And that sounds trippy, I get it. But there is a method to that, meaning that you are unformed and formed simultaneously, and knowing how to use your vessel to call the unformed chaos into divine order is a skill. All right? So now I'm going to take this Gospel of Thomas, because I'm not going to take a long time to describe this. We're going to go through these quotes daily so that I can describe what the hell Jesus meant, because a lot of people are like, what? Myself included at first, right? All right. So the very first quote After it says, whoever understands what these things say will never taste death again. And hallelujah, I get it. All right? So here we go. Those who seek should not stop seeking until they find. All right. This is the force that is compelling you. This is stage 2 of your spiritual awakening. Okay? This is the exact moment when you look around everywhere, right? And you're somewhat shocked by what you're seeing. You might be appalled by what you're seeing. You might be disgusted by what you're seeing. You might love what you're seeing. That is a choice within you, okay? But what I need you to understand is what you're seeing is your unformed potential that you are judging in the moment, and therefore live in the segment of time that you have judged using your body as a filter. So you never harm anybody but yourself. It looks like you're hurting other people. It looks like you're judging other people. But no, you are the intelligence behind it. So from the minute you condemn, like Lot's wife, and you put salt on something by observing it and judging it incorrectly, you will descend with your entire universe, and you will live in that. You just died. Congratulations. All right? Now, that is what compels you forward. This is why you started seeking in the first place. Okay? So in that stage, what do? The minute we become aware, we start trying to tell everybody about all the conspiracy theories that are out there. We're looking for an explanation of the chaos. We need somebody to tell us what's happening, right? So now, stage 2 is conspiracy theory time. You start looking at all the news out there, and you start looking for the answers because you don't understand what the hell is happening outside. You're clear on one thing. It's chaotic. Okay? Everything else is up to you, right? Because you're judging an unformed moment. This is what compels you to wake up. The chaos gets louder and louder and louder until you realize who you are. This is by design. Okay. So when they find, they will be disturbed. Huh? Stage 2? Yes? All right. Everybody knows what it's like to feel disturbed. Okay? When they are disturbed, they will marvel. All right. So what this means is, as soon as you realize that you are animating what you think outside of you on display, it no longer appears chaotic. Suddenly, you're like, oh my God, there I am, and there I am, and there I am, and there I am, there I am, there I am. And so this is the part that's a little difficult, because someone asked me recently, they said, Cindy, so you mean to tell me you hear everybody's voice at once? How do you not lose your mind? This is a skill. Like, I can't help this, you guys. I love this. I'm sorry. It makes me happy. This is a skill that if you are not ready for, we are considered to be schizophrenic. That is someone who's not understanding their partial moment, and so they don't understand what's going on, and they're scared, and they judge that moment, and they could be considered schizophrenic. Okay? In the psychic world, instead of being schizophrenic, this person is clairaudient. Same thing, different level of awareness. All right? Anyway, so I said you'd be disturbed, and when you're disturbed, then you will marvel. That is what I'm doing right now. I marveled. Like, there's never a moment that I am not everywhere on display. Okay? This is an extremely humbling moment. The moment you realize that the partnership with God is your image. For good or for worse, it is your image. And so it's extremely humbling because, see, if you just think a moment and take a moment to think in reverse, right, you will see your experience on display. Like, people will tell you what's going on in their lives and your experience will match. And so that's extremely humbling to realize that the body that you had to transcend, or the tiny veil or the thin thing that makes the illusion disappear, is your body of knowledge, of past experience. The only devil that ever lived. You know, that's why it spells, lived and devil are the same thing. If you look at it in the mirror spelled backwards. Hello? Clever, the ancients, aren't they? Anyway, all right. So, and reign over the all. This is what I keep trying to tell everyone. As soon as you make peace and you realize you are the intelligence behind the entire illusion, you now have control over the entire illusion. Okay? But you decide how much light you will emit from your heart in order to see yourself within the shadow of your perception. Okay? And so now what that means is every relationship is an illusion. It's only you and your mirror. Okay? However, the design will always work in your favor if you treat this illusion like it is you, because it is you. It is your mirror. It is a body of experience equal to you, standing in a different point of perception within the universal experience we share, in order to see inside the experience we are not identifying with in the moment. This is how conscious mirrors work. Why do you think I say they're so important? Okay? Because if you learn how to use conscious mirrors, you can make anything out of thin air. You can see in the darkness of your own creation. You can see behind and become the intelligence behind the dead things or the carcass you are animating. Okay? I'm not making these up. These are Jesus' words in the Gospel of Thomas. Okay? Then he continues and says, after that they will have rest. What that means is, after you've realized how you were your own obstacle, you enter your new state and you delight in the experience because you have mastered yourself. Okay? You've mastered the aspect you don't know who you are to enter who you are. And the only veil that it ever existed is half your perception. What occurred in your past will limit you until you plug it into your heart and see how your experience serves the universal experience. And now that is what you control. And that's huge. That is what God tried to tell us in the Bible. That's what Jesus came back to tell you in the Bible. That's what every ascended master ever tried to tell you. Right? What happened is y'all got caught up in all the miracles we could make. You didn't realize we were demonstrating to you what you could do because of you. That's huge, you guys. That's huge, because now it is not a mystery. It is universally true of who you are. Okay? Now, this universally applies to money, career, love, anything you want. Because nothing exists outside of you. You know these little memes that say intimacy can't happen until you're the real you? That's not entirely the full picture, but it's very accurate. If your relationship with yourself rocks, the relationship outside of you will rock regardless of who it is. Love or friendship, work, parents, anything. You are the light of the world. You animate the dead things below. The higher aspect of yourself is always in the middle. It is never not your experience on display. And any time that you are mean, cruel, judgmental in any way to the reflection, without attempting to help it, without attempting to serve it, you have just missed an opportunity to be kind to your mirror. All right? So if the design works like that, then you will miss out on someone being kind to you. Do you see that? How it's tied in? Because the only constant is you in the middle. You in the middle. So if you are in the middle, what I see with my eyes is my unformed chaotic potential. It only appears like chaos until I organize it, but I know where everything is because it's appearing outside of me. Now, in the silence, using my heart-centered intelligence, I plug into what I think would be ideal, or I allow God to work through me. All right? And so this is what you guys are after. All right? Don't let what's outside of you fool you. It was called Maya or illusion for a reason. Every New Age person in the world keeps telling you it's a holograph. Why are you believing the hype? Why are you getting attached to the hype? Right? And so demonstration of this would be people that have a total different quality of life because they don't allow the world outside to tell them what is. We decide that. That is a power. It's a power. Okay? And so this is what I want to talk to you guys about. This. I am not teaching anything new. This is something that was told to us 2,000 years ago. We are the ones that's not understanding how it works. Okay? And so you have to kind of keep that in mind. All right? So now, here's half the equation. I want to give you the illusion. Do not worry about what others have done or haven't done or whatever, because here's the thing. What they appear to do to you, they will be on the receiving end because it is their body in the moment at time, and since their body is their shield, they will receive what they have put out. You need do nothing. This is law. There's only one person within the illusion at a time, so this is law. All right? Okay. So, if that's the case, what is also true is that how you choose to view your unorganized moment and how you add love to it when it appears like there isn't enough in it will determine the quality of your next moment. You reap what you sow. All right? So then what's dangerous is judging our chaos, making fun of what we're seeing below us. And let's describe what we see below us, right? How many of us have called them sheep? How many have called them unconscious? How many of us have called them whatever name in the book? Okay? And I mean everybody. If you call a president an orange guy or an orange, I don't even know what the words are right now. Like, if you call him that, that's still you, baby. And you will be on the receiving end of an insult. You condemn your conception. Huh? And so if you understand that, then controlling your desire to judge is important since it's you. Huh? Okay. All right. I can't iterate this enough. There is only you in this world. This illusion that you're living in. Okay? That is how it works. The design above and the design below look identical because the universal mirror can't lie to you. It can't be divided. The Maya, the illusion, the witchcraft, the greatest illusion that ever occurred is duality. And you guys have been living in it for millions of years. This is what you know. So when someone comes along and describes the nature of what's going on within you in order to control what's going on outside of you, it's going to sound a little foreign at first. Right? Like of course it's going to sound like new age hippie talk. It's going to sound like it's actually ancient age hippie talk, right? But don't I get accused of that a lot? Or I get accused of living in Fantasyland? Isn't that funny? Since Fantasyland is 3D? See? And so what I'm trying to say is God's will and the ability to rest will prove itself to you the more you discover who you are in the moment. The more you remember to be the formless intelligence behind the state you wish to embody. You practice this, and then like a boss, you can listen to your heart and predict the future. Yeah? All of you want to learn, right? All of you want to learn how to come into being before coming into being. Well, this is how we do it. And a lot of it's not going to make sense. Like, all right, let me explain the doubt for a second. If someone would have told me, hey, Sin, you know what? You're already rich. I know you can't see it. And all you have to do is touch your heart and breathe and not judge your desire. And as soon as you allow your desire to be, no matter what you see, you got to hold on to that heart plug in order to determine your next moment. I would have looked at me prior to putting it to the test. Like I smoked too much something, anything, whatever drug, name the drug. And I'd accuse me of being crazy. Because why didn't anybody tell me it was that easy? Right? And so that is what I'm trying to impart. The more you practice this, the more you practice this, the more you practice this, you learn how to walk again. You learn how to walk again. All right? And this is really, really that easy. You totally get into the point where you speak, it happens. You speak, it happens. Do you know what the only delay would ever be? Why it's not instant? You're living in the past. You're still looking backwards instead of forward. You have an eternal vessel. Okay? The aura that you see is your all-time now surrounding you so that you can be in the middle of your experience and always see yourself as you are in the moment. That's how the design is. Okay? This is super hot knowledge to me because, God and I talk all the time about the inner workings of the universe, and this was huge to me. I was like, are you kidding me? It's that easy? It is. All right? So I wanted to talk to you about that, understanding that. And every day, I'm going to maybe try and do a few minutes of another saying, of another quote. And we can do this with anything. But the Gospel of Thomas is probably my favorite because, I thought about it. And it's what was hidden from us as the most valuable treasure. That it was so valuable that when the world started rejecting it and wanting to burn it and change it, they had the foresight to hide it so we could now live in this moment. So it was already written for us. We are existing in God's memory. It's never not God's memory. And so 3D will always be a giant deja vu. Okay? And what I want you guys to do, and it will take practice, but it will be a muscle, forms like this. I want to teach you all how to come into being before you come into being. And so the easiest way to do that would be to understand the inner workings of the universal design that you are. So I'm going to teeter back and forth between Genesis, the Gospel of Thomas, and we're going to understand how to control our universe. Now, fortunately for me, most people think that's dangerous. The reason that I don't think it's dangerous is that no one will believe me if they don't understand. If no one will believe me, because it won't prove true to them until they've mastered themselves and have recognized themselves everywhere. So the safety lock is set, right? Like, because here's the thing. If I was an evil person, evil doesn't exist. I get it. That's a judgment. But let's just say if I was an evil person and I tried to enter the kingdom of heaven and rule over the all, I will always still live in my conception of myself on the material plane, because it's always an illusion. And so whether I choose to play the contrasting role in the imagination or whether I choose to play the protagonist in the role, it doesn't matter. It's all an illusion. And so then once the pressure's off with that, learning how to step in and out of states becomes really freaking cool, because everything is accessible to you at this point. You can travel anywhere, you can do anything, whatever you want. All you have to do is learn how to use your vessel, how to come into being before coming into being. And right now that sounds harder than it is, because you're already everything. All right? So again, I will go over more of these. I don't want to take too long. I know our attention span, but I want you to marinate on what I said, because they're not my words. I'm just describing the inner workings to kind of help you see. And then once you see, you can put this to use. And then the trajectory of your life changes instantly. Okay? And that's huge. And that's whether you want money, a guy, or the ideal relationship, or everything. If we don't recognize ourselves as first cause, we go to war with ourselves. And that war is outside. It's pretty obvious what's going on. And now, as a whole nation discovering that it is the universe, we have the opportunity to change the world and discover who we are in the process. Now, very few people have the guts to be David with the slingshot. I do. I wouldn't be here standing here telling you how to be David with the slingshot in hand. Okay? That is not a judgment call. If you want to play the role of the villagers who are afraid of the 3D experience because the 3D experience appears to be bigger than them, that's okay. You serve the collective experience because you help the person that is David, all beings at once, you help the being that is David, all beings at once, to see his own obstacles clear as day. So if you wish to play that role, I'm afraid, come rescue me, ah! Don't worry, I did it. It was fun, I played it. But being David takes a certain character, takes a certain amount of faith. Okay? And it's demonstrated in your life everywhere because you challenge everything that you think was once real. Okay? So that's what I want to do with you, because if you understand how to manipulate your universe, you become the wealthiest person in the universe. Okay? And that wealth, I'm not talking just money. Money is the last thing to appear as physical evidence of your new state. It's the beginning. Okay? And so with appreciation, we preserve it. And with acts or words of death, complaint, or anything, we destroy it. That power is ours. Okay? Just remember, these are some very basic scientific principles. In the beginning was the word. Means you are the sound that has control over everything. You are the first cause. sound, vibration, doesn't matter what words I use to describe the same constant. You are the constant light, you guys. And to have dominion over your world, to be able to come and go, to have the freedom to like even just quit your job, because now you know how valuable you are, and so you just start being you, and it pays off in dividends. That is a good feeling. And it's all within you. There is never, ever, ever a moment that you are not whole. And that's what you have to remember, no matter what you want. All right. I hope that was helpful. I will try and do another one. Tonight, you guys, for my one-on-ones, I believe I have class tonight at 8:30. So from 8:30 to 10, I won't be able to really answer any texts or answer any queries or have any sessions or whatever. And then I do think I may have an appointment in Saudi Arabia after that. But, before then, I'm available if you have any questions or anything. Otherwise, I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. And hope you enjoyed this little moment of time. And hope you know you are the light of the world. Love you.